As the soul traverses the physical and metaphysical plane, one of the biggest challenges is what is right relationship for our Atman, our true selves, and with the material world around us. The lunar eclipse that took place this morning is in ANURADHA Nakshatra. And so for the next 2 weeks, the eclipse energy is going to be in this nakshatra. So the way that I organize these videos is to tell you about the energy, because they will describe what type of conflict you can anticipate and the intentions behind what interactions you'll have. So I start with that, and then the second part of the video will be a highlight for your sign so that you can check on exactly where in your life and how in your life this might be affecting you. I do recommend that you watch your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. Every person reads differently, so if you're new to my channel, find out which of these works for you. I do these every new moon and full moon. So when the new moon cycles come around and the full moon cycles come around, you know which of the signs in these videos resonates most effectively for you. So ANURADHA is the nakshatra of dedication and devotion. It is symbolized by an archway, as in the goal, the thing that you're moving toward. The purpose behind ANURADHA is dharma, which is right, what is right. And so ANURADHA really looks at right relationship. And it's this period in the soul growth where you're becoming more material. And as you become more material, you start to lose your connection with the divine. And so what ANURADHA is doing is it's looking at how are we tending to our inherent worth? How are we seeing to that? And specifically, how we are seeing to that through our relationships. So we're looking at several aspects of right relationship. ANURADHA Nakshatra is in the constellation of Scorpio. And one of the elements of Scorpio is deception. We're looking at what is your relationship with deception, or also what is hidden. So to illustrate, here are 2 ANURADHA natives. The first is an actor who plays in 2 major productions. One of them is Game of Thrones, in which he plays a person who is completely immersed in espionage. So he deals in secrets, and then in Downton Abbey, he's a newspaper man, and the same thing, he deals in secrets. So on a low end of Scorpio, it's a person who deals in worldly secrets. On the high end of Scorpio, another ANURADHA ascendant is C.C. Zane, who was the person selected to write out the Brotherhood of Light, ancient hermetics into student format so that people could access hidden knowledge, occult knowledge. So you see, what is hidden? Is it the secrets of the world that are used to manipulate people and gain power, or are they the secrets of occultism and spirituality to help people assist in humanity? The next element is our relationship with relationships. So what is right relationship when it comes to relationships? The deity associated with ANURADHA is Mitra, and Mitra is a god of the sun, and Mitra exposes things, exposes the path. It's interesting, as in lunar eclipses expose things, right? So you have Mitra, the god of the sun, and Varuna is also associated, and Varuna rules cosmic law. Varuna is also the ruler of the deep and in charge of night. So you have Varuna, you have night, and then you have Mitra, day. And here's the thing with it. Night and day are distinctly different. At dawn, they meet, they merge, and one becomes the other. At dusk, they meet and merge, and one becomes the other. While they have these parts where they merge together, they are distinctly separate. Just like in your friends group, in your relationships groups, with your significant other, with anybody you do dealings with. This is business, this is anything. The people you deal with, you contribute to them and they contribute to you because you are each distinctly different. You bring some attributes to the relationship which enhance each other, but if you all brought the same attributes, it wouldn't really be a relationship, it would just be a continuation of yourself, you see? So you have to be separate, night and day, you have to be separate in order to be distinctive. And in order to have relationships that complement one another, you bring different features. So that's why you separate, develop yourself, and then come together. So while the deity Mitra is a union maker, the ruler of Anuradha is Saturn, boundaries. Another item with Anuradha is right relationship with our experiences. Associated with Anuradha is the lotus flower. And the lotus flower is something that has its roots in the mud and then has a long root, and at the top of the water has a beautiful flower that's seen. Now, if you're looking, you only see the beautiful flower, but the beautiful flower is the result of a lot of work and roots in the mud. The enactment of Saturn. With us as humans moving toward divinity, we need to have our roots in the mud. We need to have our roots in humility, based in humility. And why is that? Well, did you ever grow from an experience that was not difficult? Did you ever have everything going well for you, and then at the end of it, you said, my God, I really am a new person because of that? Not necessarily. It doesn't really work like that. It's the humility, it's the circumstances, the life experience that cause us to be humble, that cause us to feel humility, that enable us to develop the spiritual fortitude to ascend. What is right relationship with devotion? Well, if you merge with a thing, you cannot be devoted to the thing. You cannot actually love the thing because it's part of you. It stops, right? If you merge with the thing you are devoted to, you lose the ability to interact with that thing. Anuradha is the power of devotion and worship, and it's about the coming together. You know, when you have an amazing meditation, or if you work with intuitive gifts, but these different ways that we contact the divine, these different ways that we contact parts of ourselves that aren't worldly parts of ourselves. That's a particular feeling that unless you've done it, you don't know what it's about. So you can't describe it to somebody because they don't know what it's about if they haven't done it. But if you're on this path, the difficulties with experiences, with people, with all of the troubles, when you have that connection, it makes it all worth it. The thing about it, we don't walk every day, all day with that connection. You can step in and out of it. Sometimes you stay with it for longer periods of time than others, but it's not all the time with you. And in a way, you see, that makes it a bit more special because you can connect with it, and then you can come back and do your work here in the material plane with the knowledge of what you really are and with the knowledge of what you can truly access. So that's another way that Anuradha expresses. We individuate from our bliss so that we can interact with and appreciate our bliss. So the lessons of Anuradha are about aspiring toward our inherent worth and doing that through relationship and being devoted to something without losing ourselves in something. And another element of Anuradha is the idea of changing forms. As a soul, we come to the earth and we take a body, we incarnate, because through this incarnation, we have experiences, we have relationships, but we live so that we can grow and learn and evolve. And in the process of that, we have to shake off what our form was when it no longer serves our growth. So we take on a new form. Sometimes that comes in the form of physically a new appearance. Sometimes that comes in a new profession. Sometimes that comes in the form of different personality. Sometimes that comes in the form of different friends, of different groups. But where we are currently reflects what our growth has been to this point. And so when you take on a new form, it may be that you are entering a new phase of life. So whatever's happening, whatever's coming and going, what you do with eclipses is you just let it go. That's what you can do. It's happening. There's nothing you can do to stop it. It's happening. What you can do is control the way that you react to it. You can control how you're going to allow it into your life, whatever's happening, and how you're going to move into, with ease, the next phase. Leos, you have it in the 4th house. All right, so if you're a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this eclipse is taking place in your 4th house. 4th house is your home, your family of origin, has to do with your mother, your roots, behind the scenes. So across from 4th house is 10th house. That's you in public. That's how other people perceive you. 4th house is you, behind the scenes, how you see you. And what this energy is asking you to do is look at, do you have right relationship with how you see yourself? Regardless of your origins, because it's usually not because of our origins, right? If you're on this kind of a path. But regardless of your origins, that was the way that you came into the world. That was the way that you learned to be individuated. That was the way to become who you are. Do you have right relationship with the form you are now and the form that you need to become? Do you have right relationship in the way that you feel okay to individuate? Do the 4th house people around you understand that you need to individuate? Because this is usually a very problematic area when it comes to that. So, first thing, watch for some sudden change. Eclipses, lunar eclipses, eclipse things out. So watch for something to happen, watch for something to go. And again, it's an eclipse, so there's nothing you can do about it. Maybe you'll see it coming, maybe you didn't see it coming. Anyway, just watch it go. This will be in the next 2 weeks. Just watch for it. Just be prepared. The second thing is, do you have right relationship? As in, are you interacting with the people around you, the ideas around you, the experiences around you, and are they interacting back with you in a way that enhances, like in a way that you enhance one another? Are they helpful? Are they helping you grow? Are they helping you understand about yourself in a positive way? If they are, that's great. And if they're helping you understand what you don't want to be, sometimes that's what you have to deal with right now. So, just to know that there is a difference. To be in right relationship with origins. They are your origins. They are an experience separate from you. Then the third element to look for. What secrets are hiding in your 4th house? And here's something where, again, the 4th house, right? Where you come from and the people, your family of origin, the people who have seen you all along the way. No person has ever been at his or her best at every moment in the life. We begin a certain way, we have experiences, we have growth. Our incarnation helps us to develop, our experiences help us to develop. So the people who have been around us for the whole time, they tend to latch on to one version of us. And depending on what your relationship is like with these people, it could be a good version of you, or it could be like maybe not your best time. But what family of origin tends to do is hang on to what was not your best time and subtly remind you of it as if you are some fixed character in their story. And in subtle ways, they will remind you of what used to happen or what once happened, right? But the thing to remember with this energy is that ANURADHA is Scorpio, and Scorpio is transformation, which means you are changing forms. Remember, Carl Jung theory of individuation. ANURADHA is about individuation. You learn from a group who you are or who you are not. That's how you individuate. And it's about changing forms. So all along the way of this incarnation, as you grow and learn, you have changed forms. So if you are around people who are trying to remind you of some version of you that is long gone, which you don't even know that person anymore, like it was the version of you at the time, but that's not you anymore, you're allowed to separate that. And if this is something that's just kind of in a hushed way, because it's another way that family's so nice with it, they'll keep the secret for you at your great expense, but they'll keep the secret for you like they're doing you a favor. It doesn't need to be a secret. And it doesn't need to be at your expense anymore. Bring it out. Bring it out into the light. Don't let those shadow elements, don't let those secrets, don't let those things below the surface that you don't want said out loud, don't let those control you anymore. This eclipse is the perfect time. Bring them out. Bring them out. Forgive yourself. Whoever you were, whatever was going on, okay, it's done. That's who you were then. You would not make your same choice right now. That's why you went in the shadow. You wouldn't have done that. Like now, you wouldn't do that. It's finished, right? So bring it into the light. Forgive yourself and release it. Whatever form you're stepping into next, you don't need to take that with you anymore.